Hey everyone, Acting Sub Lieutenant Braham here. Awesome as always. So we are going to be working on gun shirts. So I already pre-ironed a lot of the wrinkles out, but usually the problem areas are right here in the shoulder on both the front and the back. And if you're not careful and lay it nicely when you iron the front, you'll get a whole bunch of wrinkles in the back that love to pop up as a surprise. So what I like to do, I'll get into a second here. Some things you will need, again, an iron. Have it set to rayon or cotton setting if you can. Again, I have a steam and spray shark iron, which I don't have to use a towel that I don't mind wrecking. But if you want to be on the safe side, go ahead and use a towel or cloth. Ask your parents first, make sure it's okay, and then we can get started. So like I was saying before about the problem areas on the shoulder and the back, best ways to avoid that is open up your gun shirt like so, and then you kind of put it over whichever side you feel comfortable with. I like using the square side of the ironing board because then I can stretch it to get into that problem area of the shoulder. And then that way I also have more space to work with. Whereas with the other side of the ironing board is a little bit more slender. I like using that for other functions. So like I said before, you have your iron sets to cotton or rayon, and if you do not have the spray or steam function, put a towel over top. So you just go over, get out all those bad, naughty wrinkles, naughty wrinkles, and then as you have the wrinkles out, you just keep rotating your gun shirt until you have all your wrinkles out. And I like doing it that way because then I can also get the seams on the side of the gun shirt. Once you're done doing that, a technique I like using for getting creases in my gun shirts and also in my STU shirts, my blue Postman shirts, is I like getting the seam of the shoulder from the neck and trying to get it in half as much as I can, or pressed tightly, and then pulling it tight so that I get that crease, laying it down, and then sometimes I will also pull the seam lengthwise this way and smooth out the material out towards the cuff of whatever it is that I'm ironing, because then that way I have less work to do, and most of the time there's no wrinkles on the other side. So I save myself work ironing by making sure that all the material is flat underneath while ironing out. And usually it's just one or two wrinkles at the cuff or near the cuff, if there's any that I have to flip over the garment and iron them out. So again, make sure that's straight and working out any wrinkles that might occur, making sure it's nice and flat, and ironing it out that way. And with your gun shirt, if you start to see any yellowing from using starch or hairspray, you should get that out promptly, because if you have a summer dress inspection where it's just your gun shirt and your black trousers. I know I'd feel silly if I had yellow stainage on me. And it looks very sharp when you're all nice and white like a bright tooth. Okay, so we've ironed out both sleeves and the full body of the gun shirt. Now comes for the main crease down the front of the gun shirt. And what I like to do, because the gun shirt is a square in the front there, is I take the two corners. You can use the inside or the outside corners, but I like to match them up and fold them in half that way. And then while holding the half point that I've made from the collar, I grab the bottom of the gun shirt and I make sure that it's a straight line down. And when you've done it right, both of the bottom two edges of the front of the gun shirt should line up. Okay, so we fold it in half, we've got our nice sharp crease. Same thing again as with the trousers that we did. If you are using starch or hairspray, flip your gun shirt inside out, and where you're having your crease, spray your starch or your hairspray along that crease on the inside. That way, if there's any color that's going to occur because of the hairspray or starch, it's not going to be as visible. But if that does happen, wash it as soon as you can. If you cannot get it out, get a request form as soon as you can to your supply officer. Remember, starch and hairspray are optional. You can get lovely, immaculate creases in any of your uniform parts without starch or hairspray. Starch and hairspray are optional. So again, with your iron, like any crease, you press or quickly go over it, making a nice sharp line. There. We have a nice sharply looking gun shirt. All right. Next, we are going to be doing our STU blue postal shirt. See you soon.